If pain, misery, frustration, and anxiety sound like a wonderful time, then boy do I have the game for you. Allow me to introduce to you Stalker Anomaly's Iron Man mode. What's better than a game that is full of dangers that can just kill you instantly and where death means you lose everything you've done so far? No! And just to make it even better, Anomaly poses a further challenge. Iron Man mode, dying no more than 2 times, the hardest difficulties, and no debug mode. Welcome to the Invictus Challenge. Now seriously, unless you're a maniac or just simply hate yourself, I'd suggest forgetting all about this. But if you are that mad or you're just looking for some of the best advice you can get for Anomaly in general, then you'll want to stick around. Iron Man mode in this game is nasty. Anomalies, mutants, and stalkers have the ability to end you very, very fast. Some even in one shot. Ecologists in Clear Sky give you a slight advantage as a faction choice since they are more neutral than the other factions, but that only helps you so much. I ended up using Duty. The start of your playthrough will be the toughest because you'll be without any real armor and without any real guns, or at the least, guns that barely keep you safe. And the survivalist difficulty makes it oh so fun. Jobs don't pay shit, everything is expensive, and you're barely able to carry a rifle, pistol, and a bottle of water. As you start, it's important to be picky about what work you take. Stuff like retrieving PDAs, searching stashes, or easier jobs. You can often walk in and walk out, but it won't give you much. More dangerous work like defending areas against enemies can be a crapshoot between difficult or not, but they often pay more. When you're traveling the zone, turn your headphones up really freaking loud so you can hear the anomalies. Get binoculars as soon as you can. It's so important to scout places before you run in there. Always keep your head on a swivel, always be looking, and always expect a surprise attack. Never assume you're safe. Go and make sure you're safe. Also, don't forget to pick up bolts. You actually have limited bolts in survivalist difficulty, which stinks. After you grind a bit, I highly suggest grabbing a shotgun for Butcher and Garbage. Now, I play with boomsticks and sharp sticks always, so he has this unbelievable semi-auto shotgun. Once you have this, you can make a quick buck pretty easily. Up in Rostock at the duty base is the arena. You can fight mutants for a wager. Bet the most you can, don't hesitate, and aim well. Mutants will always spawn in the same spot, so remember that as you work through these. Shotguns should give you a decent chance to also do the Agroprom underground. Keep an eye out for bloodsuckers down here, and don't rush. Once you get to the point of doing the Brain Scorcher, full pause. Don't even think about doing this until you have a really good suit and a rifle with a scope. We're talking Scat 9, Siva, Exosuit, something like that. And whatever rifle you really fancy, just make sure you can get ammo for it, a scope for it, and silencers are always a plus. Your traders might not have much at first. You do need a higher rank and higher goodwill to unlock more items in their inventory. They also take 3 days to restock on the survivalist difficulty, so keep that in mind. But like I said, get yourself seriously kitted before the radar. I don't care if you spend the next 7 days grinding missions. The monolith will always be incredibly armed. You don't want to try to chance it, especially in the lab when you're in close quarters with them. I should note, the limits I mentioned for the Invictus Achievement are exactly as I said. There's no other restrictions. So, if you really just want to go get this achievement done, you can, theoretically, get into the radar, turn it off, and immediately fast travel out. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. You're also free to use quick saves however you please, just don't mention to anybody you use quick saves during an Iron Man playthrough. I could care less, but others don't feel the same way. The radar is going to be your first real taste of serious conflict. If you accomplish this straight up, you should be capable of beating this game. Remember, head on a swivel, scout before you run into places, be patient, and always expect a sneak attack. At this point, you'll be heading up north and hanging out with Straylock. I may suggest you look into one of 2 mods. There is the Companions Don't Die, which makes them incapacitated when they lose all their health, or the Tougher Important NPCs and Companions. This way, your time in the rest of the game isn't a fucking chore of babysitting a bunch of dum-dums that can barely hit an enemy 5 feet in front of them. Or just in case they decide to run off and fight a pseudo-giant that was minding its own business. God damn it. There's also another easy way to deal with the CNPP. You have to fight the monolith at the front of the power plant and then enter the sarcophagus. But you can walk right back out, go into this space restrictor here, go into the backside right by the monolith control center, kill the phantom guard, and finish the rest of the mission. Simply just using the map to your advantage. But come on, what's more fun than fighting 36 monolith troops and exoskeletons while your friendlies get in the way? Once you beat Lost to the Zone, you're in for a good time. Next is Mortal Sin, and you'll be spending some quality time in the Red Forest. Yay, controllers, chimeras, and pseudo-giants, my favorite. The Red Forest is a horrible place to do anything. It's a wise decision to wait and be patient before running clean in there. See if you can goad anything out and stay nearby walls and trees, just in case a controller is wandering around. Mortal Sin will take you through Lubansk and the hospital as well, but you'll get a good group of soldiers to help you out. Again, one of those 2 companion mods will make a huge help here. Some of the Sin guys are in what looks like a proto-exoskeleton with no helmet, but these guys are the commanders, and they're really, really tough. Multiple headshots required. When you're in the deserted hospital, take it very slow. The Sin is a big fan of explosives. I remember hearing one while I was here. That can always be a run ender. And make sure to take out the machine guns from a distance. They'll rip you up real quick. Once you speak to Cherno Bog, you get a mission to chase him into the generators map. While you make your way there, you have to deal with some Sin punks. Again, explosives. Be very careful. Try to keep something in between you and the enemy as you make your approach, and please do some scouting before you run into something stupid. When you're in the generators, you'll make contact with Stitch. As the emission begins, don't rush. The timer is only for you getting to the Sin base. It's a ton of time. And the last thing you want to do is run into a chimera without any cover. Did I tell you the Sin likes explosives? I figure I'll just remind you again. This is actually where I got clipped in my run. When I came back in, somehow the explosive guys didn't exist anymore, so it may be possible to save load real quick to prevent them from being that well equipped, but no guarantees. From this point, it's really just going through the motions. The next mission set, the Operation Afterglow, is simple, as long as you know what you're doing. Straight up, this is the most insane thing I've done in Anomaly, and I dumped the monolith down the drain with a Makarov. You need to be so aware at all times. Be smart about how you approach everything, and you really need a good base of knowledge of the game and how it works. You need to know the repair system. The craft system also helps, but recipes make it hard to use. Every map has certain areas that are known to have specific mutants or specific enemies in the various locations, so it's helpful to know what spots have which enemies, and that really only comes with experience. Something I may suggest is to run Iron Man mode with the Life Granter. That, or 5 lives, something along those lines first. That'll give you the experience you really need to feel comfortable with the notion of dying at any point, and just how aware you need to be at all times for that. So I hope this will be helpful for anybody that is at least attempting Iron Man or Invictus or something like that, and if not, I hope you just enjoyed listening to the sound of my voice. That is all I have for this one. So peace out, and I will catch you on the flip.